You know how many permanent modes the finals has had since launch? It's actually 8. In the beginning, you had ranked and unranked tournaments, you had Quick Cash, you had Bank It, and then unranked went away, and then we got Power Shift, and Terminal Attack, and TDM, and World Tour. Out of those, 7 of those you can pretty much play. Unranked isn't in the game, but you have World Tour, same thing. Bank It is the only one out of all these that you really can't matchmake for. If you have 11 other people, do you have 11 friends? Okay, so you can't play Bank It anymore. But what is Bank It in the first place? Maybe you started playing the game after it got taken out, but what it was, 4 teams of 3. There's a cash out station still, but instead of that, it's a deposit station. And the whole point of the mode is to collect coins. 40,000, each coin is worth 1,000, so 40 coins to win the game. You get coins by getting kills and by opening vaults. Each person has 1 coin on them by default, so if you kill someone that wasn't carrying any extra, you get 1 coin. And then if they were carrying some, you get that 1 coin plus all the coins they were carrying. You can pick them up. You have to pick them up individually. And then you take them to that deposit station to deposit. And then your total goes up for your team. And the first team to 40k wins. The deposit stations were like cash out stations. They just look like ATM versions pretty much. But yeah, it gets added to your total. You see it on the scoreboard. Everyone can see that you're not virtually broke. Maybe not the case IRL, but that's not the point. It also got 2 LTMs. One was solo Bank It, so you know, no teams of 3, just everyone's individually getting the coins. And there's also Steal the Spotlight, still solo Bank It, but with set loadouts. So why erase it? First of all, Bank It was around from launch all the way up until the beginning of season 6. That's when it got removed. Embark's reasoning for taking it out is in the season 6 patch notes. I'll read it real quick. Bank It is unfortunately our least played mode and often struggles with a very small population of players due to the lack of popularity. With the addition of TDM to the game, which has similar gameplay but has proven to be much more popular, we feel now is the right time to take Bank It out of rotation and to make sure we don't split the player base between too many modes. Bank It will remain available in private matches and may return for events in the future. It's season 7 that hasn't happened yet. But yeah, but to ensure that the best quality matches across our modes, it will no longer be a base game mode. So yeah, it was unpopular in comparison to everything else. TDM came around as an LTM. Seem more popular. It probably is more popular overall. Pretty similar as far as just like the constant fighting nature of both the game modes. So if one does it a little bit better, then why not? Now in my last video, I was talking about Terminal Attack since no one had seemed to say nothing about it on YouTube since it got removed as a ranked mode. So I was just, you know, kind of checking in on the problem child, and a lot of people brought up Bank It. I was very surprised. I have not thought about Bank It. It has not crossed my mind. I have not missed it whatsoever since it got removed. I didn't even play it that much after like season 2, and it made it all the way through season 5 until getting removed in season 6. But yeah, a lot of comments saying, oh, Bank It should have replaced Terminal Attack. But that wouldn't make sense because you don't replace an unpopular mode with an already proven unpopular mode. You know what I mean? Which is why they chose TDM to replace Bank It, because they were a lot more similar in play style anyways. Like Terminal Attack and Bank It are very different. Now there was also a lot of comments about a potential mode that should be an LTM in the future. I'm gonna get to that later though. In the meantime, hit the hype button. Yes, that was painful. Why can't YouTube name things? You know they named Twitch Raids Live Redirect? Y'all gotta work on your titling. Oh man. Out of all the quick play modes, Power Shift is probably what I play the most. I think what I play the least is actually Quick Cash, since if I want to play that, I usually just play World Tour. I'm usually playing with enough time to play a whole tournament, at least one, so I usually just go for World Tour. And for what it's worth, it did fit the theme of the game as far as destructively getting money. That's what you were doing in the mode, so like it wasn't a bad idea, but there was a few things that just plagued the mode and made it not as enjoyable long term past playing like a few matches. Number one, teamwork was not the move. I mean, maybe it could have been, but it was not emphasized whatsoever. Like you could pretty much just go off on your own and really win matches. Like I won plenty without really worrying about my team at all. It just really didn't matter if you played with them or not, which is why solo Bank It made a lot of sense. But as far as regular Bank It, you're coming from like the cash out mode where if you don't play with your team, you're just not going to consistently win. That's pretty much how it is. But then you go to Bank It and it's like, it's really just 2 people that you can't shoot that may or may not help your total. And since it's very chaotic and fast and just a lot of fighting, some people just play it to get as many kills as possible. So another reason why you wouldn't win is if you have a teammate, or you are the teammate that's just going in there just to warm up and get as many kills as you can before you start playing tournaments. It's not to say that TDM emphasizes teamwork either, but because kills themselves are what move your score forward, it just naturally works in the favor of the whole chaoticness of the mode. Because the only way for the objective to get disregarded in the same way is if people literally stop shooting each other. But that mode is constant gunfire, so it just doesn't really happen like that. Which, when it came to Bank It, and that would happen where the objective would get disregarded, it just started to make it feel like minigame-ish and like just for warm up and nothing really else. And even if the solo Bank It did make a little bit more sense, I really couldn't tell the difference if I was playing solo or regular Bank It. Like, obviously I knew I didn't have teammates in solo Bank It, but it did not make a difference in the gameplay whatsoever. Now, the second thing was chaos over tactics. Cash out works really well with all destruction and things of that nature because it's a balance between tactics and the chaos. Like, they work hand in hand. But in Bank It, it's all chaos. There is no tactics. All of that goes out the window. Shoot people, blow stuff up, maybe get some money on the way. That's pretty much what it is. Definitely fun for a few rounds, but that can get stale when it just feels so mindless every time you play it. Ironically, this is like the opposite issue that Terminal Attack has. That mode is all tactics, no chaos, or just very minimal, since it's just a very slow paced game mode in comparison to Cash Out, to Bank It, to even Power Shift. So when I thought about it like that, it did make a lot more sense as to why Bank It and Terminal Attack specifically stick out so much from the rest of the modes. Because even in Power Shift, you'll see people working together to some degree as far as holding the platform or just like being on high ground to stop the team that's on the platform, things like that. Not that it's super in-depth with the strategy, but it's still apparent in Power Shift at least. Third reason, which is just all quick play modes in general, which is less support. Quick play modes should not get as much support as World Tour and Ranked. So of course it didn't. Why would it? It did get 2 LTMs, which is pretty solid. I think Power Shift has had Bunny Bash. That might be it. I mean, you can tell me in the comments if there is more, but that's all I can remember really. Terminal Attack obviously became Ranked, and that was about it. TDM had I forget what the map was called, but this map, they had an event for that. I really like that map for TDM, by the way. That one was pretty good. But yeah, it had 2 LTMs. It had every base map. So Seoul, Monaco, Skyway Stadium. And then they got like Sis Horizon. They got Bernal. They got Fortune Stadium. And Bernal was the season 5 map. That was like Bank It's last full season. So it got everything from launch through season 5. And the maps, they work to varying degrees as with any mode. But it didn't have any of the variants. So like floating structures and all of those variants of the different maps. It just had the base version of every single map. Now, should it come back, I think it could be a LTM at best. I don't think it will ever be a quick play mode again fully unless they just make some major improvements. I don't even know what those are, but if they did that, they tried it as an LTM, they saw it was successful, and like, okay, let's make it a quick play mode again. Now, the mode brought up in the comments of the last video that I mentioned earlier, 5v5 cash out. I think this would make a lot of sense. I think it'd be really fun. I vote 1000% yes. It should be an LTM next season. They should try it out, see how it go. If it goes well, either extend the playtime of it or just bring it back for like a second or third time in season 8. Yeah, I think that is definitely worth trying. If all goes well, I think it could be a permanent mode of season 9 if they were to try it out in season 8. And at that point, replace Terminal Attack. We don't need 3 different 5v5 modes, you know what I mean? So yeah, it'd be Power Shift and 5v5. They could call it head-to-head XL or something, because that's what head-to-head is, just 3v3 cash out. So just add in the extra 4 people and then try it. So yeah, if that mode makes it from comment section to the real thing, to the real game, I will virtually dap you up. I ain't giving you no money, but I'll virtually dap you up. Till then, I talked about whether or not Terminal Attack is a forgotten mode. Probably the first person to talk about it this entire year. In this video right here, you should watch that. Bye.